Hello there. It's me, Wally, ERA Decker Real Estate. Hey, listen, did you know that I happen to be up for the board of directors? I happen to be up for a position on the board of directors for the Greater Binghamton Association of Realtors. If you didn't know that, you do now. And I'm extremely humbled that someone actually would throw my name into the hat to say, hey, maybe this guy actually knows what he's talking about, and he may be a good asset to the Greater Binghamton Association of Realtors on the board of directors. Hey, everybody, Wesley Van Voorhis for ERA Decker Real Estate. I'm a licensed New York State associate real estate broker. I am listed and working right here for ERA Decker Real Estate in Whitney Point, New York. Does that mean I only sell houses in Whitney Point? Heck no. I can sell. Basically, you put a pin in the map, draw a 50-mile radius around it. That's pretty much where I cover, depending. Hey, Gary, how are you? Thanks for Faye for joining us, and Heather and Adam and Jamie and Ellen. Ellen from the Buffalo area. Cool. Steve, how are you? Are you out of the hospital yet? Hope so. So listen, I'm an associate real estate broker for ERA Decker Real Estate. The number right here is 692-3665. You can see it right there if you need to get a hold of us here. Also, my cell phone, 725-1446, area code 607. So we're going to do a little something different today. So we're going to start. And if you have questions, I'm really looking for you to put your questions there or here, wherever it may show up, to ask me some things that have been on your mind here. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about buyers and about if you're looking to buy real estate. Everybody is interested in real estate. It seems to be everybody wants to get in the investment thing. Everybody sees the shows on TV. You see the Property Brothers, and you see all these things. My wife is a junkie for these types of homes, especially the beachfront property things or the rehab addict that she loves to watch. You know, and after a long day of real estate, the last thing I want to do is watch more shows about real estate, but I have to, because basically I'm not allowed to watch anything else because Karen's got the clicker. Anyway, we're going to offer some buyer's advice to begin with here. And then we're going to talk a little bit about sellers, what you need to do to get your house sold quickly. So you can pay attention to both of this stuff. So buyers, you're going to want to know what the sellers are looking to do to their homes. And sellers, you're going to want to know what buyers are looking for. And this could help. And the reason being is this. Everybody wants the same thing. Somebody wants to buy the home. Somebody wants to sell the home. And you're looking the best way to be able to make that thing happen. So what are we going to do? So buyers, check this out. And if you're watching this, whether it's live or later on or on YouTube, and you think this could help somebody out, why don't you help me out and by make sure that you send somebody this video to help them out. Hey, Rick. Rick is Rick High, by the way, is a home inspector. We'll be talking about home inspections a little bit too as well. Hey, Bonnie from Florida. Paul and James, how are you guys? Brian, my cousin Brian from Texas. Excellent carpenter, by the way. He just made a crib, a baby crib. It's to die for. Let me know if you're looking for something handcrafted. I'll get you and Brian in touch. So, buyers, here's the deal. First thing I'm going to tell you that you should do, get yourself an agent. Get yourself a qualified realtor. Find somebody who is a buyer's agent that can help you out. Why? Because it doesn't cost you any money. People think that all the time. Oh, you know what? We're on such a short margin here. The bank's only qualified us for X amount of dollars. We can't afford to pay for an agent. You don't have to. Why? The seller is going to do that. So why wouldn't you use somebody to be your advocate to help you walk through this process? I say this to sellers all the time. I do this every day of the week. I do this all the time. So I know what we're supposed to be doing and how things work. You don't necessarily know. You probably can make it all the way through, and people do. But hire somebody that's going to be able to help you make this a little bit easier, a little bit speedier. So buyers, first thing I want to tell you, find a real estate agent. It could be me, could be somebody from my office, could be somebody from a number of other offices in our Southern Tier region or wherever to be able to help you make these decisions. So first thing, get yourself an agent. That should be number one. Number two is this. Get yourself pre-qualified. What does that mean? It means you're just going to go to a lender and you're going to say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house. What do you think I can, first of all, am I going to be able to? How much am I going to be able to afford? What type of mortgage am I going to be able to afford? Because you got the alphabet out there of all the different mortgages that are being offered, and I don't know which one I need to get. Do I have to make a decision right away? Let your lender be able to help you do that. So find yourself an agent, find yourself a lender that's going to get you pre-qualified. Now, speaking about lenders, I'll probably talk about this a little bit later on, by the way. So whoever you get pre-qualified with, do you have to use them to be able to buy your house? Yeah, you don't have to. They would like you to. But here I'm going to tell you this. It's just been my experience. You can use whoever you want to. We as agents are not allowed. Let me try to get in the middle of the screen. We as agents are not allowed to tell you who you should or should not use for your lender or for home inspection, any of that stuff. We can give you suggestions. So here's my suggestion is this. I prefer very much when my clients are using somebody local. Why is that? Because I can pick up the phone and I can call them. If I'm working as your buyer's agent to help you buy your house, it's already a more difficult thing than you're ever going to go through. Sometimes it's not too easy for us as well, even though we know what's going on. It makes it even more difficult when you're working with a lender whose policy it is to only speak to the client and not to their agent. And here's why. The lender, the banks, they speak one language and you're listening in English. And sometimes the bank doesn't speak English. Why? Because somebody on a phone in Montana or wherever the heck they are, and they're busy. Their job is to try to get as many people through the system as possible. So they're trying to get you through, and they may not be able to take the time to explain things in English. Second thing is, are these people from one of those push button, I can get myself pre-qualified on my phone people? Are they local? No. Where are they? Nobody knows. But do they know anything about Port Dickinson? Do they know anything about Endicott? Do they know anything about Windsor or Shenango Forks or Whitney Point? No, they don't. They have a set guideline of rules, and it's not localized. It's the same. It's the one scheme thing that fits all, whether you're calling from Missouri or you're calling from Maine Endwell. So does it all fit? No. We have a lot of old housing stock here. There's a lot of different nuances with the stuff we have right here in the southern tier that you're trying to buy. A lot of us are trying to buy houses in the 1800s, 1850s, 1910, something like that. Why? Because they're there, they're good, they're built, they're structurally sound, and we're trying to get them. So my point being, you can use anybody you want to, and we will help you with whoever your decision is. It makes things a little bit easier, in my opinion, disclaimer over my head, if you try to go with somebody that you can actually talk to and pick up the phone and actually go to their office and meet with them. So local lenders, I like to use them as well. So here's another three. So number one, get yourself an agent. Number two, get pre-qualified. Number three, make a decision. If you're going to go see a house and you say, you know what, this is the one I want, but I don't know. And if you don't know, then you really don't think you should be buying that house. But I think the day and time right now, because inventory is so low here in the southern tier, that if you're sitting on the fence saying, I'll make a decision, it's Monday, I'll make a decision by next Saturday, whether or not I want to put an offer on this house. By Saturday, if it's a great price and you like it and it's clean, neat, and tidy, someone is probably already made an offer and it may have been accepted, and then you're going to lose out. So what happens if you make a decision and you say, hey, I want to be able to buy this house, and you sign on the dotted line, and 2 days later, you see another house. You go, well, wait a minute, I want this one. What do I do? Your attorney has got a 3-day look at your contract, 3 business days. You can simply just call your real estate attorney up. We'll get to that in a minute. You can call your real estate attorney up, buyers, and say, hey, I don't want to do this one. I want to do that one. Get me out of this one. And they can. Why? Because they have a 3-day disapproval or approval clause in there. So for any reason, they can just take the contract and go, sorry, let me do this for real. sorry, I disapprove of this contract. They don't have to give a reason why. They just do. They work for you too, by the way, just so you know. So make a decision. So many times we take buyers out, and as agents we get kind of frustrated. Maybe it's truly the fact that you don't really know what you're looking for, and the key phrase is when you see it, you'll know it. Maybe that's it. But sometimes maybe it's the fact that you just are too afraid to make the next step. There are several things in the process that can kind of help you change course or change direction on that house that may or may not fit your billing. And we could talk about that if we become a buyer and an agent working together. So let's get back to using. So another thing, buyers. So get pre-qualified. And the reason why we ask you, by the way, I know I'm kind of jumping around here. The reason why we ask you to get pre-qualified, trust me, none of us like to ask that. Hey, are you pre-qualified? Why? Because it's intrusive. It's me saying, and I don't know who you are, and you don't know me. So it's me now saying that you don't know, going, hey, do you have enough money? Or do you have enough credit to buy this house? The reason why we ask if you're pre-qualified is so we now know we can narrow that target down to the house that you can afford. Just this week, as of yesterday, by the way, I had somebody texting me that was looking at a $35,000 house, a $245,000 house, a $145,000 house, and an $85,000 house. And I'm going, what is going on here? So I asked if they were pre-qualified, and I got every other answer in the world other than yes or no. So it makes us kind of pull our hair out a little bit. We're here to try to help you. We're not here to try to undermine what you're trying to do, but we also don't want to waste a whole lot of time looking at things that you can't buy or don't want to buy or are not going to be financeable by a bank. A $35,000 house, a lot of times I have to see the house, but it's been my association that experience that those houses sometimes are not, many times are not financeable by a bank. And why is that? There's something wrong with it, wrong area, flood zone, furnace is gone, something like that. So anyway, so that's why I say get yourself an agent and get pre-qualified. So getting back to the lender again, like I said, use somebody who's user-friendly. If there's somebody on the phone that you're talking to in any part of this process that doesn't seem like there's somebody that you can work with, it's going to be more difficult for you. You might want to be able to try to find somebody who's a little bit easier to work with. Somebody that speaks your language, we'll say. Maybe that's it. Somebody can walk into this office here today in ERA Decker and Whitney Point, and they may start talking to me and go, no, maybe we don't speak the same language. But Helen Ackerman, who's in the next office over, may be the right fit. Maybe. You know, I got kind of a strong personality, I've been told. I'm not sure if that's the case. Probably it is. So, you know what? Find somebody, whether it be an agent, a lender, or home inspector, or whatever, is user friendly. So, also speaking of home inspections, you got a choice of a lot of good ones here in the area. You know, Rick Kai is on right now. He's one of the home inspectors for accredited home inspection. But we have other ones that are, you know, professional home inspections. You got James Hunter, and you've got Mike Meeker, and you've got George Schambach, who's with professional. You got a bunch of people out there, Casa. You got a bunch of people. We can give you references. Okay, pick one or two or three of these things and see which one works the best for you as a home inspection. But you need to have it. You should have a home inspection. We can't tell you that you need to have it. It's not required in most cases, but you should have one. And so, what home inspection do you need? We'll talk about what needs to be done. If you've got a laid up stone foundation, should you have a radon test? Maybe, maybe not. There's a lot of opinions on both sides on that thing. What if it's got just a regular block foundation or a concrete foundation? Yeah, you might want to. It's up to you. It's totally up to you what you have on the home inspection. What are you most concerned about? Talk to your home inspector, but make sure you find one that you like, that you can talk to, that talks to you in easy English, and to tell you what seems to be the most important things on these home inspection things. Because as an agent, as a buyer's agent, if you don't have a buyer's agent, but you go and get a home inspection and you're trying to do this yourself, You're going to walk through this whole thing going, whoa, what is all this stuff? I've got a home inspection report this thick on this 1935 house, and there's a lot of reds and greens and yellows on it. What does that all mean? Your agent could help walk you through that thing. So you might want to find one. Why? They'll help you. And number two, doesn't cost you any money. My broker, Mike Decker, just walked in. So buyers, an agent, get yourself a realtor. Now, what does it mean by a realtor? Can you be a real estate professional and not be a realtor? Yes. By the way, it's spelled that way, by the way. Realtor, not realtor. Realtor. We adhere to a certain code of ethics. We work for you. We're not working for our paycheck. It may seem like that because, quite frankly, if you don't sell a house, you don't buy a house, we don't get paid. However, we're ethically and legally bound. We have a fiduciary responsibility to you as the buyer or to the seller to give you all the information that you need and that you want, and even more so than that, we're ethically bound to be working for you in your best interest and the public's best interest, just so you know. So, home inspector, yep, I would get one. Did I ever mention getting a realtor? Yeah, you should probably get one, by the way. And there are times, by the way, buyers and sellers, that there are times that you need to be willing to pick up the phone and talk to your realtor or talk to your lender or talk to your home inspector. There are certain nuances that are lost when you're busy talking with your thumbs that you may not pick up on the other side. And there are times that as a realtor, you get frustrated because it seems that the person on the other side is like, nope, listen, I don't want to talk to you. Just, hey, tell me what the bottom line is. I'm done. But it's my job to tell you everything revolving around it. For instance, if the counter offer is made and you could say, nope, I'm done, I'm out, blah, 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 as a seller or buyer, don't talk to me. No, I'm not going to talk about it. You're going to talk to me. No. There may be other information you need to hear to make your decision. You can still stay with the decision you said about, nah, no way. But there may be other information that you need that just does not convey well when you're just writing it down. It's like taking it out and passing in class. Blah. Meet me in the boys' locker room or whatever. So pick up the phone. Be willing to talk. That's really what you need to be able to do. So let me let you know right now that the current interest rate, as provided to me a little while ago by Aaron Thomas Allen from Elmira Savings Bank. Current interest rate, 3.5% as of today. There are different things out there that the interest rates will fluctuate depending on what loan product you get or want to go after. Do you need to know the difference between FHA and USDA and conventional loans and VA loans and Fannie Mae? Do you really need to be schooled on all that before you go to your lender? No. It's good if you are. What you need to do is be honest with your lender and go in and tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly involving you, your situation, maybe an ex or not, your credit, all that goes along with being able to formulate the best plan to be able to help you get in your new house as quickly as possible. 3.5%. There's 1,082 houses on the market right now in the Greater Binghamton Association of Realtors. 3 years ago, there was right around 1,600. So we're down about 400 to 500 houses on per average. So is it a seller's market? Yep. Why did I say at the beginning of this thing that don't waste time, make a decision? Don't wait a week to make a decision to buy your house. Why? Because there's so few houses on the market right now that people who are looking for homes are pulling the trigger quickly. And if you're not prepared to do that yourself, you're going to be looking at a lot more houses and you're going to be finding out that a lot more of them have got contracts on them before you're able to get involved and be able to make that next home yours. It's just that simple. We're kind of running out of time for advising sellers on some things right now, and maybe we'll just get to that in the next segment next week. Let me see if I got any questions here. Is it worth putting money into a kitchen to sell your house? Yeah, Ellen says that. Ellen, you know what? I think it is. If your kitchen, it depends on the neighborhood. I would ask your realtor to come by and ask them that same question. But here's the first thing that people look at when they come into a house. Kitchen. Kitchens and bath. The first thing the person that makes the decision on whether or not to buy the house is 85% of the time the woman. So what's the first thing the woman's going to look at? It's the kitchen. Is the kitchen antiquated? Can they use it? Okay. Is it got one of those little ovens like that that's stuck from the 1950s into a cabinet and can only fit maybe a small chicken breast? Or is it a bigger oven or a double oven? Or does it have a range? It's got a range top? Or is it a range with an oven or double oven? Updating a kitchen will probably get you a faster sale, depending on the neighborhood. And it's my experience that it may get you a higher price as well. So investing in kitchens are not cheap. So if you can do it and you can do the work yourself, that's a great idea. But yeah, I think investing in a kitchen is definitely the way to go. Ashley says she wants to be an agent. Come to my house. You know where I live. We'll talk. Good lenders worth their weight in gold, according to Amy. Amy, by the way, that's here, is a client of mine. Her and her husband sold their house here on the north side of Johnson City. Smaller house, did a wonderful job updating it and fixing it, and got a higher price point for the house than would normally be in that neighborhood. And she is now working as an agent herself in Florida. Okay, Dana, on her way to Alexandria Bay. Find a house up there. Attend the home inspection. Rick Key says, yes, I think that's a good idea. If you're a buyer and you're looking at a house and you want to buy it, by all means, attend the home inspection. Be there to know what's really important and what's not. You get a better idea of kind of what's going on, as opposed to just reading the black and white that you're getting, or reds and yellows and greens, from the inspector. It's a good idea for the seller to be there too. People sometimes will say, hey, we don't want the sellers and we don't want the buyers to be in the same room. Sometimes it's okay. And during the home inspection, I think it's a good thing for everybody to be on board, because at that point, sometimes the seller might just go, hey, I can do all these things, no problem, and fix them, especially if they really, really, really know what they're doing. Roxanne says, what are the numbers behind your head? Well, that's a whole nother show, Roxanne. We'll talk about that. That was on the show that we did before. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say, people, is this, that if you're going to sell your house, or if you're going to sell your piece of land, you can, or if you're going to be a buyer, especially if you're a buyer. If you're a buyer, and we've been talking about buyers here today, I strongly suggest you consulting with a real estate agent to be able to do the best thing you can, get it on the market, get it looking the best it can, and put your best foot forward and get it sold quickly. We'll be talking about sellers next week, and I think the numbers above my head, we'll talk about that a little bit next week too, to let you know what that all means right there. It's kind of interesting. It is, and we'll do that. So the current interest rate, what I said, is 3.5% for buyers, just so you know. It's a general rule of thumb. There's different things for, you know, FHA and USDA and all those kinds of things. Talk to your lender about it, okay? So some quick housekeeping notes. I want to let you know some things that are coming up. Very quickly, this week I am going to be putting on two houses in the Shenango Forks School District by the end of the week. One is on Marshman Drive, or Marshman Road in Shenango Forks, with about 3 acres. It's between Marshman Road and Steed Road. It's going to be a 3 to 4 bedroom house. I forgot exactly how many, with 2 full baths. It's got a 1-car garage on it. And you're going to be able to find that. It's going to be probably under $130,000. I have another one on Bona Drive. It's off Rogers Road. You're going to find that listed as well. And that's going to be in that 115 range. Right around the corner from Bona Drive, currently listed right now, is one on Pleasant Valley. Now, in Pleasant Valley, that's been listed for a little bit of time, 5 Pleasant Valley Road. I believe we're at about 129 or 135 right now, something like that. I should have looked this up beforehand. Sorry. It's a nice size house, 3 to 4 bedrooms on that, 1-car garage as well. You're really close to State Park, New York State Park. If you want to go see it, I would love to go show it to you if you're looking for a house in the Shenango Forks School District. I just got 3 under contract in the Shenango Forks School District, by the way. 2 over on Route 12 and 1 over on Route 79. So they'll be coming up for closing pretty soon. Coming up on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to have 79 acres of land with a house for sale up in Richard. If you're looking for acreage, it's got a hunting It's got a pond, deep pond, beaver pond on the back, lots of hardwoods, and actually a shooting range. If you're going to work and you're hitting 81, you need to be on 81. This will be close for you to be able to do that as well. Also, a house in the Shenango Valley School District on Pleasant Hill Road. That'll be being listed at 125. I just signed the documents on that today, so look for that to come up probably towards the end of the week as well. If you're looking for any houses in the Shenango Forks, Shenango Valley School District, especially Whitney Point, I got one coming up there as well, probably another week, a 3-bedroom house. Let me know. Hit me up. You can PM me, and I'll be able to get you on through and take you through the house and hopefully be able to help you work through all this stuff. So anyway, it's called Ask the Realtor. Live at lunch today. I'm Wally, Wesley Van Voorst for ERA Decker Real Estate. See you next week. Peace out, Boy Scout. Buyers, get yourself an agent.